ancient beings would never parted from upper rebirth and liberation's excellent bliss. May they never be parted, I shall cause them to never be parted. Guru deity, please inspire me to be able to do so.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome, Rinpoche. First, I'd like to thank everyone in the room tonight for their mindfulness to keep this event as safe as possible for Rinpoche and everyone by remaining silent, avoiding eating, and not approaching Rinpoche or the translator after the teachings. Although COVID caseloads are dropping, just a little tired. The transmission level of the virus is still high, so please respect public safety. If you'd like to make an offering to Rinpoche, there's a bowl somewhere on the back table, a green bowl, and we'll share those with Rinpoche, collect them tomorrow. This amazing and wonderful dependent arising is only possible due to an incredibly fortunate accumulation of causes and conditions. First, the wise stewardship of the Coast Salish people who have cared for the lands and waters of this area for millennia. May we support the indigenous sovereignty struggles of North America with the same dedication and commitment as our support for a free Tibet. Second, the kindness and bodhisattva motivation of Yangsen Rinpoche, spiritual director of Dharma Friendship Foundation, who invited Jhado Rinpoche to Seattle so that countless sentient beings can benefit. Third, the wisdom and compassion of Jhado Rinpoche, who has traveled all over the United States for the past several months, selflessly imparting these precious Buddhist teachings of liberation and enlightenment. And lastly, all of the students in the room who are here now to listen and deepen our practice. May we listen well and actualize the Mahayana path in order to benefit infinite sentient beings. Rinpoche, please teach us the Dharma of Shakyamuni Buddha.
In the Pebe, Rinpoche Ube, and that just Samalolia, in some years.
So today here we gather, including Rinpoche and all of us, all of you. Thanks for coming here and greetings to you.
Oh, and near Trobonimba, and Jordan, and taking a new Gejachung. You don't yell, young as said, Tangola Yimada, the page of talent is Shiva in Nachire, or to say any Yango, any near Tobo Jordan, in Koti Chene, and Talendelia, Nimaningi Chushiagi, and to Jeta Namatelia.
Yes. And I have a talk with our organizer, my old good friend Jordan, earlier that when did I first came here in Seattle, and Jordan responded that I was here on 2008, and for that matter, it seems like it's the fourth time I've been here, and I, from wholeheartedly, I appreciate and heartfelt thanks to Jordan and especially organizing this 2-day event.
And then that three Lojong Kolia Zindach Suyarbas.
So today our topic is about mind training, the class for mind training.
Mixe Shungsiki Siche and Lungda Dene Kemiseke. Mass.
And I have not basically, today's talk is not basically based on any kind of particular mind training such as any different verses, but it will be just very common about the advice of mind training.
And that's Sani Melejanache, Lirim Yidirvas.
Yes. So tomorrow will be Medicine Buddha, so those are the two events.
And then that show merging Shana, and then Sani Melejanangi, Mudu Tadik Sochitalios.
In the other hand, it is a preparatory towards tomorrow's coming of the Medicine Buddha initiation. With the advice to aligning our mind towards how to go about this.
Number sign Jebe Jugo, Jamdo, teaching Jugo, Semge, or Tindeji in the Jamdo Semge Singindi, 남배 티와침비 쳐버지기 아니 레줄 컨디치 빼베 있나야 jam도 심게 고공론 줘버지 고야도 개첨보를 근데 인자 엔땅아서 상계 초조기 쇼로카숨 팅숨 등기인다스.
And anytime when we engage in dharma, the refuge is must, and with that, having going with the Mahayana teaching, then igniting bodhicitta, or we say senke, how to generate our mind towards bodhicitta. So therefore, first we will do a 7-line prayer or the refuge prayers.
Sanje chedan soje chona la chanju pardo dane kyapso che dagi jinso gebe sonam gi rola penjer sanje rubara sho sanje chedan soje chona la chanjo pardo dane kyauso che lagi jenso gebe sonam gi rola penjer sanje sonam 강게 도전에 손에 다와 탐제 방배지 탐배 준 던저 고담들라 자체로 that three Lojong sagji lobchenchi ribas Lojongs
Yes.
that Lojong sangenti semla gyurgyo tang sagji keja imbares.
Yes. So today is called training the mind or mind training. Mind training is here in Tibetan we call law is something to relate with our heart or something about mind. So how to make familiar or how to exercise or study our own mind.
Simgyu matubade duru tanya simgyu jongbodi jamru tanya ota tinde chiglia chidang Lojong sa tinde chig koya chi peche res.
So in generally it is mind training, making unfamiliar familiar. We are unfamiliar. Sometimes we have a rough mind or rough attitude, and how to make that more smooth. Or that kind of exercise or that kind of training is called mind training.
And sem chagdangi shangwandu chinje and mashiwati and chagdangi shangwandu mason cheni and sem tele sayati or tindechig tolaya koya yevachires.
Yes. And guiding our mind if it is going towards wrong path with the jealousy or aversion, then immediately making it more controlled so that it won't lead, your mind will be not led by your emotion, so that you have more subdued.
And tikba chembe Lojong jeji digan tikba chembo sayagi chik name gyabaina yi kongdu sheba tigi ndangimeba yan tigale sam thebach gogoyares.
Yes. Having said that, but when we talk about Tekpa Chembo means Mahayana point of view, then that alone is not enough. So there is more needs to be done. There's more pursuit.
simgyu nyomongbe mashiwa ti shivar cheba tetsang dangi meba ti gantele ya ran chebar zimbe ene lo ane tili ya tonglen cheje ti dokto shen chebar zimbe lo chigli ya shuk gyabya chigla ane tikba chimbe lojong sayagi tan kecha tewa tili chig kwaya mares.
So it's not just about the our own afflictive or ignorant mind, but actually, when having said the Mahayana point of view is additional, is we have a naturally self-cherishing attitude. So that needs to be again make into actually more others more important kind of thing. So exchanging like not only about self, but making other, cherishing other.
Tindu Lojong sag Tiktelaya, Tikjiwa inaya, Jachejung, Samdaya, Jalog, Jutenti, Jachejung, not so cheer impress.
Yes. And even though it's a one word mind training, but then it breaks down to how vast one can go according to Mahayana.
Chida Zambuling Ji Drotang Tone, Shabina Sange Jomden, the Zambuling Chugu Manang to Kone, Lotonga Chicks in its Kone Yang, and Yagalaya, and Chulu. Yedeva Chikta, Zambuling Shandalaya, Chulu Yedeva or Tindichere, to Sangmegi, and Kandar Simgi Mashiva the Shiva Chegore, Chadang Shawantu, Dugu Mare Sachiki, Labjakamba, Chivaras.
Yes. For example, during even before Buddha, there are many other religions in India, like around 1,000 years. But not only India, but all over the world, all religions encourages you to become a better person, to be more able to have control of our own emotion. That is common to all.
The imbeta the Kariarsna, Chulu Samalogi, Sutim Sunguduas.
No, because you can look at that every world major religion talks about ethics and try to have a good conduct. So that it itself is validating that there is a advice, there is some kind of general way of looking at how to behave or how to have a better mind.
Inayans, Ran Chinzin the Kenre, Shen Chinzin the Yunten Chegore, Ran Chinzin tea, and Chisi never Tisi too, and then to David Devati, Rutu Mares Sunyente, Pager Sangachum then the rest Shuna Pejata to a rest.
Yes. But having said that, but actually when we say all major world religions have a similar advice about to be a better person, but Buddha is the only one, almost we can say, that who have revolutionary thought about the major downfall of our whole problem is self-cherishing. And is the Buddha is the only one who is emphasizing to eradicate self-cherishing and cherishing other.
That the Ben Zambuling Nucho, number 2, you say Lumbenalia, the Kajati, Tambu Sambacolor, she Amjonale, Dodovici, Kaji Yomare, some years.
I have a feeling that in Western world, when we say that the opposite of self-cherishing, we should cherish other first. So that may be a little bit difficult to your ear, even to hear that, not to cherish self.
Oh, that Ran Chinzin Sagi, Tiki, jamjung tinalaya karshigi yore ti tunana kechmushirares
Jangjung Karsungor.
ti jablo yan
Jablo.
kandich kugors ti tsik de kar shigi yores
No.
tsik ti kar tingi yores
No.
ti tunana kechmures
No. So, what's meant by self-cherishing? It's very it's easy to hear the word, but there's a lot to look behind that. Why is emphasizing not to self-cherish, and why we are trying to eradicate self-cherishing? Behind that, there's a lot more meaning.
Navasanjebe shungne jang ane ningdob gores sunguyores. Tene Navasanjebe shungne jang ane ji zundu gores sunguyores. Navasanjebe shungne shenda parashane shenda ke manjomba tutu changma ngen jomba chigi so tende yangi ji boba chi gores sunguyores. Tanda ngaramse alingen tigyurna.
No. So, according to Buddhism, it always encourages you to have a courage. In Nyingtop means courage, then enthusiastic perseverance, and then what other people cannot do, you voluntarily say, I can do it. That kind of courage is being emphasized. That kind of enthusiastic is being emphasized. And that kind of enthusiastic need to something that no other can do, I can do it. That kind of encouragement is being said.
Number two, Yanamena Mishi Molam Gabo Kundu Sambe Molam Samend Badara, King of Prayer Sajigi, Tindichi Yoris.
No.
Or Tinala in Kandichi Yorisana, two Sumji Sanje, Tuzugi, and Zaba Molam Gangalote, Nachibuchi Saji Yoris.
No.
Kaya to Sushi, Jawai, Chanju Jebe, Molan Charano, Sambuchebe, Chanju Sajan, Tigu Malu, Dagas over geese, that Sigdi, Yurnana, Majuna.
No. And Rinpoche did the verses from the prayers of the king of Samadhi-Bhadra, the prayers king of the Samadhi-Bhadra prayers. In that particular prayer, it is said that all the Buddhas of 3 times, past, present, and future, whatever they have done, I will do it. That kind of courage and enthusiastic has been said in these verses.
Tutu ring the king rest and sunguyomares.
La.
Tutu ted ne chigi, ne tubachigi, chebati, and ranchin kungli and rawmares.
So, having said not to self-cherish, when I say here, I want to do all these things, this has been encouraged, actually. This has nothing to do with self-cherishing.
That and the ranchin sayati or rangi chirdu, shengi deva ketu seva. Nametama. Rangi chirdu and shenaya and the kangesu senamendu, shendi yavato, shendi ketu seva. Or tindichiglia and ranchin sares.
So, self-cherishing is like cherishing oneself and benefiting oneself, and like whatever pleasure and peace I want to have, that kind of selfish, or I might say selfish or self-cherishing.
Shende yavarto, shende ketuse, yavarto sati yukshavatro.
No. So in other hand,
shende ketuse sin veje suse tondalaya panandi dubutango ina tang shadero.
No. In other hand, like abandoning others' interests, always pursuing about self-interest. Neglecting, yeah.
Means own purpose, we have to harming others. So that's called self-cherishing, not like a cherish oneself. You have to neglect the other welfare to own purpose, to harming others, their welfare. That's called self-cherishing.
Yes. On the other hand, Geshe Chekawa said that in order to benefit oneself, basically abandoning others and using others for one's own good, that is self-cherishing.
Tati kyen redang, kyen mare, shine tat tonanang goya chires.
So that one we have to analyze and check ourselves whether it is a wrongdoing or not by using others for one's own good.
Gyawa ishin nobu yang jizo nang ya kamen nang duwas. Ngarang zu sutu somen tang, yizi tang, kala tang, tinte da medena subu di subu dil negu mare di dil negu mare di dil negu mare sene physical hygiene sene libu choten ge thola shibu zambulingi tona chimbo duwas.
Yes.
Do te mental hygiene singe ji menduwas sem ge choten singe ji menduwas.
Yes.
Tang mona tane tanda turum nishu cha ji ba ti nala libu choten ke chimbo yimba tedan nyamdo sem ge choten singe dia ten ke chimbo ji rede duwas ji sungu duwas tin ko ju ji yebe so ji dus.
No. And His Holiness Dalai Lama always emphasizes and talks about, for example, in today's world, we read all the ingredients of almost anything we consume, like toothpaste or food or whatever. So in that regard, we are very good at external hygiene, material hygiene. And His Holiness challenges that we in the 21st century, we should now emphasize on mental hygiene, not just the physical body hygiene, but inner heart or mind hygiene.
That same good to den chige nala tande ran chinzi singenti and kyen chag doa mendu said that kechmu shujres.
Yes. So therefore, when we talk about that, then our mind hygiene, in that we have to now see how does the self-cherishing place in mental hygiene.
Ta nang tiwa chembe cheba chige ngene jamjong ne shebe sanji ji komba thogore sanji ji komba thobala changju semmena tromena yungumare changju sem sengendi chambada ningje zawa chini yongbore sehati ta nangbe chebe nyamleng dodan chigres.
Yes. So especially in the Mahayana vehicle, Mahayana tradition of Buddhism, it is, we talk about becoming enlightenment. So for the path to enlightenment, the bodhicitta, the altruism mind is very, very necessary, and that which actually produce love and compassion.
다 산계기 공방토베 깨졌디 육샤 디코데 마셰브체
Yes.
깨와치메 깨졌디 육샤 디코데 마셰브체
Yes.
다 세딜이야 간다르 밑잠도 마세베 로 소자 둔두춘제 디기 뇌바 디기레 민뇌바 둥에레 뇌바 디기 두야치기 던달라 에네 Ranchinzi singing the new Tango Duang Mendua Sati, Che the Mandevagi, Sangjugi Tone, that Tachi Chachire, that Tendati, number ine sometime, number many sometimes chovachres.
So let's not talk about the enlightenment part, but just simply enlightenment. Let's not talk about enlightenment and then not talk about next life. Even this very life, how does disrupt this self-cherishing attitude of us, even within this life alone, even we all have we all desire to happiness. That is all same. But having said that, we have this self-cherishing. How does this actually place in our this very life?
That raw soja tunduchunje digi gogu yaba ina digi dudan tela and ranjin nyung rutaya or digi ji samtango ji chagi yore yomares. Pena tandangaran sogi chi mubi zudu yerge chimbutaya sole yerge chimbutaya siri yerge chimbutaya dozo changmalo kangi chedoresna digi duya chedoros.
For example, even animals, who, like all living beings, want to experience happiness, and therefore, for example, in external gadgets, developments, for example, science, and all of this produce all of these things are. We have progress to have some sort of self happiness or comfort, so to say. So all these are basically based on our own interests.
Mazumini kambani tu ne dusu tongrong chen duwaris. Semje tundu tuzo ka jing ne kangla shiga tu ne duwaris.
For example, human being we walk on 2 feet.
Chabi kashe jing ne shogani kya jen panangan duwaris. Bu kashe jing ne chogo darje duwaris. Namjur mindawa natores. Rete kujo jaya de kariche kujo jaya orasna tonda chires. Digi mangs dunganyungs yonga tondala kujo jabachires.
So if you look at this, all legs of sentient beings, human being 2 legs we move, so as animals try to move with their 4 feet. And so, like worm, they drag their stomachs and moves. And birds, they fly with 2 wings. Why all this movement? Everyone is again. And then we have a little bit of different kind of outlook and characteristic. But basically, we are all looking for some sort of more happiness and less suffering.
Oh, that Tindrechik Kameti Tibetan Jungne Kamen Sunguyore Rete Moy Nezu Tola Ranjinzi Singenti Nyuru Matana Mijizonala Digiyon Kabo Tundujizonala Digiyon Kabo Tenichi Yimbati Sanumadana Nezu Kagare Sanutana Ratwa Jimbare.
So since talking about Mahayana, therefore it behooves us to have less self-cherishing.
Oh.
This is me.
Actual about talking about the twofold of self-cherishing, talking in the Mahayana text, right? But even, the subject coming in the Mahayana text, but in whether you're human society or whether we're an animal society, if you have more self-cherishing, more self-centering, there is no happiness, right? Either human society or either animal society. For that reason, the self-cherishing is one of the most troublemaker in both community.
Oh. And Ranjinzinti Kyondu Tatang Kandes Tower. Shen Jinzindela Yondendu Tatang Kandes Tower. Ta Koti Molam Jamni Yongajimare. Ta Semgi Ribet Honi, Jongdar Chene. And Shine and that Yotango Chiruas.
And then if you really examine yourself, this very attitude of self-cherishing, how disadvantaged, and also what are the qualities, but how to abandon self-cherishing. If you abandon self-cherishing, what kind of knowledge you might accumulate, and what kind of but these are not just you pray for it, it will not happen, but you have to literally use your knowledge and analytically examine them, how self-cherishing drags us down, and how much disrupt it brings to us, and what are the qualifications, what are the qualities by the habit of self-cherishing.
Nga dinde samge yes zambulingi kuyu sungjob sa kamichi duwas di tambu kamenti page no jolong banne chungbachi imbachi la ngeng ngi shu yes tingsan zambulin changme page tangi yoris tambu jungsa junggon no jolong banne chungbachi res
Modern
kuyu sungjob environment protect di we talk a
lot about environmental protection, and that idea or that very word somehow first came from West.
Tela mi ger rana susugi samsuti kechimbo matsibiche jizo tela kechimbo chi gogure sa chigi jamjun te tire nga samgi yos.
So basically when we talk about environment,
it is protection or involvement sa sig tonda jamjun de karasana sosu chigo ki kebendi kechimbo matsibiche jizo gi jigta digital samdaya kechimbo sa chigi yos.
No. So according to Rinpoche, when he heard about protection of environment, so here actually is a very interesting, because when you say protection of environment, it also is saying that it's not one person's interest. It is the beneficial or the coming of community together. There is a emphasis, and there is a looking towards everybody's benefit, everybody's peace, so to say. So therefore, there's something to think about.
That tanda ranjinzi shiba tsikchik duwa self-cherishing tsikchik. Titi kot deru tanje tsik laru tangba ina gersim di kyondute. Jisim di yondentute sayachik ranjinzi li kyondute. Shenjinzi li yondentute sayate, gersim li kyondute, jisim li yondentute sayate. Koyu sungyo jamchunti so kanga drabu duwas.
So if you really look at it, so here, when we are talking about the benefit of society, there's a tremendous knowledge, tremendous space. The mind itself has a lot more space or at ease. When we are focused on just our own interest, it is basically not benefiting neither, nor oneself or the community. So there's when we say self-cherishing, there's a definitely mistaken view. Kyo means like disadvantage or adverse. And when we think about other coming together, just like here we are talking about environmental protection, there is a tremendous knowledge and acceptance.
Ta chisemam shen chinzi yenden du tayagi ta gyuchen mongbo yebe kine ta taas chidobjili petchenro chijiru chishayan.
So when we cherish other, it has a tremendous knowledge. And if, for example, there are many advantages for oneself and other, but that's by other cherishing other. So if, for example, there are many beneficials, but among them, for example, we give one example.
nganzu kangbala dakje chimbu chigi yore. Nganzu gi jinche ya dakje chimbu chigi yore. Susu genjala ya dakje chimbu chigi yore. Genja name nazo kong chimbu tozol dakje chimbu chigi yore. Di karchen dakje chimbu chevres.
For example, we
ngalo gongo chimbu dus. Dirvata.
Goba chimbu dus.
Ngalo gongo chimbu dus.
La. Pendo losur. So, for example, we take care of our house very seriously. We take care of our all material things. We take care of our expensive jewelries. Because you are taking care because it is beneficial for you. Self-benefit.
Da inaya kangbe ngwene ngal pendo che sambe samno yo maris.
But
진체 토는 ngal pendo che sambe sowa yo maris. Shenda pha shan doji phalam gi genja ji yanaya tigi nge jinda del roba chego sambe sowa yo maris. Konzo pembo penjan res. Kake bidu sowa me gen pembo penjan chers. Inaya sosolo gongo yo be gyunzen de chene shibu dakje chigi yoris.
Yeah. For example, house itself doesn't have any idea to benefit us, nor your expensive jewelry. They don't tell you that, oh, I will benefit. Not only that, even if you have the best diamond does not say that I will be loyal to my owner and I want to benefit. There's none of that. That is very truth. If somebody come to steal your jewelry or whatever, if they come to steal, he will not speak. They say, oh, I don't want to go with you. I have to be loyal to my owner. Doesn't the object will not say these things. No. But somehow why we take good care of it is because it is beneficial for us. No. So if it is, we are taking good care because it's benefit to us.
The logical, the ribati, Kiyombaina, Roa Socha, Shen, singing, Mona Tane, Kevane, Mashipatule, Kechmuchiredas.
So when you think that, apply that logic to here, that sentient beings, others, are much even more beneficial, is unfathomable.
Shanti Devagi, Pejenan Sunguyaris, Titaya Kundi, Sangi Jumden de Kalatuguyaris.
One of the Buddhas speaking, it says, Shantideva.
The actual Dharma is saying that even these material things doesn't have intention, something benefit for the owner or without any intention, right? But we take care for these all material things like gold and like that. Why we take care for them? Because it's the only benefit for us. Due to that reason, we take care of that. On this basic logical reason, if you take this whole mother sentient being, right? This all sentient being, even they don't have something intention to do something benefit for us. But they are so much benefit for us until from birth, beginning to birth, until to death, right? There's so much benefit for us. Due to that reason, then no doubt we must take care for these old beings. For that reason, Shantideva said, one quoted, but this quoted not direct by Shantideva, it comes from Buddha's word.
Thank you, Shantideva's house. Thank you.
Nanzo Tanda Semjen Shen Seland Lamsa Tar Mujidu Tunguduas tar which lamsan do was chilol. Samjan shan, second shan saying the susutine, lubudine, chilo tar ringiliva, zugutuas. As a comshil to us.
It is in our habit that whenever we talk about other sentient beings, looks very far. We immediately go with our gesture of fingering like this. Other sentient being looks very far. And the funny part is sometimes whether our own families are included there or not.
Nami chilo ne pa Susu nami chilo sansam gain duars. Susu nami tinal piji tsugu yomars.
When we say other sentient being, it doesn't include in your family. It goes beyond your family's boundaries. In other hand, who knows? In one hand, whether your neighbor is included or not. So our mind is very, very funny. No. Actually, we look very carefully. We don't have to finger points other sentient being when somewhere there. Within our body, there's countless sentient beings, other beings.
Bacteria
So, for example, you guys talk about bacteria. How much we have? There are all other sentient beings. They are all also experiencing happiness and suffering, and they are all part of the other sentient beings.
Oh, cause didu choanyo socha chi yimbe chane, and Geshe Nganzu competaya tondala, ya short of tung, or tinditin, or toon and bacteria to yargeduris, toonaya jagris. Yeah, antibacteria nachi jabja, or tin Buddhisma mabasaurus, the Tindiki was.
For example, in your own biological system, we talk about, when sometimes we eat certain things to encourage good bacteria so that you can be healthier. And sometimes you use antibacteria to get rid of the things that brings you unhealthy and pain.
Oh, ineya, the covenant Buddhism, non moshingumare, Narangia, Buddhism, moshingumar, Mizakora, moshingi.
Yeah, but at the same time, we personally don't know who they are. Within one lifespan, we don't know. We don't relate to them.
Oh, Mone Tane Chena. Mashoke ya lamba the color don't but too easy and it Sangma se any atelier don't shak the chu and a beta shoge kala sagudu, Nimegun kala sagudu, Sijo Tuche, but Dr. Shivuchigores. Dr. Shivuche there, D. Monetanek so Sonyangi, Katinanya de Sure, D. Nala, Sentient Tungu Kashi, Kukatin das.
So for
rare was Kanaz Kinger was, Nala Kanaz Kinger was.
Yes. So, for example, morning when we wake up, we clean up, use soap, brush, and use oil for our skin, then eat breakfast, lunch, all of these activities. Why? To keep ourselves healthy and this. Like you are like self taking care, and but there's like millions of different bacteria, and the reason we keep healthy is because due to their actually consequences, due to their good behaviors, we enjoy good health.
Kate Buddhism lega maybe Nye subutu, kazamu kazetu, shojatung, ningu kalase, kazamu kazechevine, nga shabu sumshim ato detu ayus jikjina shabu chi detu ayus sombo
No, and because the grace of these good bacteria, we enjoy good health. But actually, from your own part, no matter you take 2-3 showers and clean up everything, but if the bacteria did not go along with you, we might be not enjoying this life. We might collapse our life within few days.
These
are very simple examples. You yourself can experience that.
Semjen shen singindi chuzuri kamarine ngeso choyala dreva thamsa yodeba ine phango shingmidu sungo shingmidu.
So therefore the other sentient beings, having said that, these are very, very helpful to us. Every hour, every minute, every second they work for the well-being of us. But if they give up, we have no idea how soon we collapse.
Tindechi indu ta kandar nangbachi ngene shena kunzu nge lubunal de goyati nge leg devachi res ta ti ya chodan den ke shigi yudas.
According to
now
this one I'm talking to related to Dharma. As a Buddhist practitioner, I mean, these are also again all these sentient beings who are in our body. They are also causes and conditions of karma.
Tindechi indu kunsu chetulia monatane ngegi jigta pendruya se dizamayba pendruya jig tola simgur jigta molam jigta jabga jide tenden do samgadus.
No. Just mere thinking about this functionality of the interconnectedness of these things, how for our own well-being, it definitely behooves us to pray for them, to benefit them, at least to pray, to benefit them.
Oh, ta ngansugi nitu mambuchi mashebe wangi, mombe wangi, and tujukolia samno makoro cheje, and sosuchugo kebeng tondala, and soja mambu shivujilia dapsi duyo, what tindichian was.
So, if you look at the vast situation, due to our ignorance, we basically harm many beings.
Ta tene kyangwe jawai shinobu tang tingsala ta zamlin kola chigul dushes chig sungudu was.
So in today's world, His Holiness always encourage about one world. If we look at that, it has a very deep insight.
Karasana zamni sharchogi diduti, zamni nuchola tugudu, zamni nuchog diduti, zamni sharchola tugudu, mi chizodi. Parchu Tebaton Mase Zamlin Nuchogi, Mi Chizo Tigeti, Zamlin Sharjogi, Socha Tundu Tuzolaya, Turs of Chambodu. Zamlin Sharjogi, Mi Chizoti, Zamlin Nuchogi, Socha Tuzolaya, Turs of Chambodu. The Ingoti, Naransogi, Shindo Tang, in Tsetang, Shatang, Omatan, Tuzugi, in Sajan Zamlin Kaskasane Yungime, Chiktevina.
So, if we especially look at this today's world of interdependence, like East needs West, West needs East, because if we give a breakdown to even our simple food, everyday life's food, like meat or veggie, everything.
Made in New Zealand, Australia, that's Australia and
Yes. So how heavily interdependent we see it very clearly in our everyday life. For example, in an apple, they have a little tag, and that tag says, this is Australian apple, this is New Zealand apple, and like this. So you can see that how east, west, and basically entire continent, how we are dependent on each other. Just even for simple as to nurture or to our everyday life, depending on others.
Oh, that again, lubu nanglogi, socha tamolaya, petron jarana shinchigi, tindeg zamni shanugi, chisoti, moshibata, mashibachena, mo mashiba, chitachinge maware. Rete, nye, lubudigi, chone jigi, tondala, tizuta, tezo chambuyoba, tizu kadin tene, sogi yodaba. Oh, Malia, moon. 포르침부 쉬우지 여배 있나야 무 모르침부티기 녀석이 잘라티기디 지조 생기 소자티기디 펜토네 엔 루트 매베이나 나무티 세네 펜토야 민도와 베나 쉬우디 칼 쉬우는 세네 루부초 세지 요마르 베나 롤라 자트마 자차지 요네 어땅아 신도라고면도 레라고면도 투시라고면도 세라고면도 당아 롤라 자차지 디사기 있으나 초토야 면도와 딘데 인도 소소로 벤조 휴지 여배 있나야 벤조 디기 루부 초토야디 소자 현생이지다 선전 현생이지 딘란 때는 초아이 맞데 다 세부 쇼레도 왔어 거 인지미 뭐시베 인거야 면도 왔어
So just like I talk about our body, example of our body and the bacteria. So similar, if we look at even though we don't know the bacteria each individually, just as the whole world, even though we don't know this continent to that continent, we have no idea. But somehow our daily survival, the very life depends on others. Depends on others' gratitude, because even if someone who is very, very wealthy and have lots of money, but if he or she could not find food in a market or other daily necessaries, then even wealthiest person cannot survive by eating the dollars or the paper money. So therefore, if we look at it, how others' gratitude and how others work and others benefit us in everyday life, even though we don't know them, just as in our body we don't know each individual bacteria, but how they benefit us.
Oh, tatagi nye kesa tangbo gotsu tu kamen shiba na shinchigi susu kangba susu da peju tangagi ngoche and susu genja o tigeti dakjon cheba sosul pento yobe dakjon cheba chigi rigba tikki baina ta socha tundune sungu semjen shen sandi ngone tanegi ta dakjon chego chigi rigba chigban rohaji dusres.
So there's like I have mentioned about your house, your all other jewelries and everything. You cherish or you take care. But if you look at it in a bigger perspective, all sentient, mother sentient beings, how actually much benefit to us, and to take care of them is similar like you take care of your objects. And objects is just for your own security you take care. But at the same time, other sentient beings to take care is also similar, how important they are.
Oh, ta telaya o tidragimindus ta yanko namdo damna kolgurwa tidragimindus.
So we have a different emotion. Sometimes we look at differently. When it comes to our own personal objects, we take care. But other sentient beings, sometimes it doesn't come quite fit in our mind.
Pena kangba tang, susu medo tang, gora tang, titu ne kewu sambatindi ke minduwas.
But for example, your house and your pathways or your gardens, they don't have any intention to harm you. That's sure.
네 깨고 삼노 컨트롤 만두was.
They have no mind, so they don't have any intention to help to harm you.
semjen shen singen gi ka ji ngalya che tu nyen ne 깨고 삼노 창모 망부지 두was.
But when you say all other sentient beings, then there are sentient beings that want to harm you.
네 깨고 삼노 용yen 망부 두was.
For example, there's a possibility that other sentient beings, among them, someone might have a motivation to harm you. That is possible.
Did dembares, did the cabarayos.
So according to that, there's a definitely difference between living beings and objective.
네 깨베 두갑 그 당 펜바체베 두갑니 네 깨베 두갑데 용화레스 펜바체베 두갑데 마와레스.
No. Even though there's a potential the other sentient beings might have a harming intention in the mind, but if you look at even more closer, but they will have a less harming thoughts, and they might have more of actually benefiting thoughts.
Ngarang gel dabu cha shabina ngarangi ngosheba tes ngala magawa 직 tin데 겐덴두리 여데바 다 tin데 직 magawa 직 같이 만나 야고르지 요토스 야츠지 요토스 야 같이 만나는 니 야츠지 요토스 징전은 주정하스마도 얘기 말이다 도스레스 고 당제 뉴뉴지도 왔어 당 알이야 사야 통야 권야 되게 용수 좀 편바 루베기 속자디 당문에 동주 책임에 놓았어 잠린 셔는 강간에 디 용도 왔어 네 다기 빼셔 자이 마스 빼는 게 단다 권대 두글로도 간에 용벌에 부 간에 용벌에 소자 간에 용벌에 깨져 시에비나 잠린 가서 간에 용벌 봤어 네 두글로드네 때비나스
No. So if you look at so if we look closely, benefit is more and harming is less, even from the other sentient beings. For example, if I look at myself from my people that I know or my relatives or Rinpoche use means the people that I know, and if we look, they might have some harming thoughts towards me. Maybe 100 people might have, maybe 200 people, or maybe not even 200, maybe 10 or 15. So that's countable. You can count, or you can guess. That is only the harm that is coming from others, so to say. But the benefit that coming from other is like almost like millions and billions. For example, we have already talked about, even just simple clothing. How many people have worked and sewed and woven and transported the one that I wear, and especially what I eat. All of this actually come from the benefit of other. That is countless. So when you look at in the numbers, harming thoughts are less and from other sentient beings, but benefit from other sentient beings are countless.
Kabre soso rangi chajo gutone, soso ranjinzingi shu gutone, ya chinjulo gutone, tongzu yang chita chingeji yoyin bare. Soso ranjinzin teleya ngonen cheche sem shish tuba katse tudoji chungbayina. Tenga ngone ya ngone rangliya mendebe lochigi yodebegi sokchachi imbayina ya sar tambutu, nibatu, sumbatu, tene bet trogo chadeyaji yongyaji yobachire. Pena ngaransa dinaliya dabu janyengi, ki dabu janyen yore, shimi dabu janyen yore. 아니 기대 심이데 닝제 오즈레 심제 담부 콜라네 nyongjong re gashe ni janggu sorota chusin sorota tende ta ujanyen doas chusin tambone jambu che denye ji marwas janggu tambo jambu che denye ji marwas mare te su ngene sewe dushi ji do spot jumdan ji te dos chen char tambo char niba char som 연주 찍la bet ngone tan panga gang deje ene sem nyebu che de thya ji duas o ti karere se labaina rang sem gi thone peti namba thamche du sewa singhe ji namju ji pa tembaina semje midubo shi hina ya thongwa midubo ina ya rimbe ene nyelya kuya ji tinde indu 당부 다지 임바이나야 세매를 년 차대봐 지다 증이 여부지레스.
So it is all we can look into our own behavior, our own manner, like when we have more self-cherishing attitude. We feel more distance from everything. When we have some kind of love towards other, then you feel more peace and joy in your own being. For example, here in West, a lot of you guys have a pet, like a dog, cat. And dogs, cats are actually some sort of exceptional in some sense. They are animal which gives you some kind of peace, or they look like they are lovable animals. But not only that, but in West I have seen people fell in love with crocodiles. People fell in love with wolf. Usually they are look a little bit scary animal. But here is a good example that when you have a cherished other, when you show love, when you develop love, pretty soon you feel close. Even you hug crocodile, you even sleep with wolf, and you feel very close heartedness to each other. So it is all again it is showing that when we open up, when we show love. There is a possibility of closeness, but at the same time, it's all very funny, like a drama. Like same thing, we also have when we have a problematic. Sometimes even friend turns into enemy, or enemy turns into friend. So there is a lot of space that we can actually develop and learn about cherishing other and disadvantage of cherishing oneself.
Oh, that ne gave to got the new pember drive to got the ma. There's some the masebe, Setulia, Drachi in Bainaya, Rangi Chachu, Sambuji, down and Tindichi Chavina, the Nyan to cook to Yaji, Yedava. Or that the Dubekajare, Tandanga Kaja. Or that Tindichi Tone, and you want to you the Tendere, Tangaransugi, Ranchin singing, the Sosu singing the Gun the Teje, and Shan singing the Mone, you send them a Gongoyova, Pendoyova, or Tindichi. That you send them a Gongoyova, Pendoyova, Sati, you send Karkar Gugre, Salavina. Lubu Datan singing the Semjan Shan Dene Chuaimba. Mitsutiki Shan singing the Semjan Shan Dene Chuaimba. Shan the Shan Dene Chuaimba, the Mulay Ching Shira, some bis. Lubu Datan, the Semjan Shan Dene Chuaimba, Mulay Shira Ching, some bis. Or not the way, Naran rang to den church, Chumba in Samarut. Or not Kale Gavin, Lomang with Zindal Chimby, Lojong Chevy, Teninga Shan the Chason Samarut, Timato Chigi, Shan Danish. Any Shan the Chumba, Shan Latene, Lubu Datan Chumba Sati, so the Shira Yunga Yusungus, Mone Chanani, Ganga Shan Temperas.
So if we really look closer, the harm thoughts are less and benefits are more from others. And with our own practice, like for example, a person who may be an enemy at the beginning of your life, but due to your own understanding and opening your mind, that person you have a very good chance to become a friend. So in that regard, we can see that how we can actually benefit ourselves by reducing self-cherishing and by more about cherishing other. Because cherishing other, it has many reasons. Because even this body, even though we think I take care of my good health, but actually beneath that, there's many involvement, many efforts of others' help. And even a lot of people might not think about knowledge. Knowledge is also actually coming from the benefit of other. Because we might have an attitude of saying that, oh, I went to school, I went to good college, so I have a knowledge. Actually, you look at things, again, it is depend on a lot of other people's gratitude.
Tam nyanda sayatiyang, top kosa sayatiyang, ganga, semjen shen, singin jingle, rogo duas.
So even powers and becoming name and fame and power, all of these are also a lot of people like that, name and fame and power. But again, in order to have name and fame and power, it is completely, again, depend on other people's mercy, so to say.
Tawana tindegi jasmu nizu diredi samne goba kariyore satita tuwa kechishi jires.
Now, it's a very important question that will come up after that. Why we fuss about all of this? Why we want to think such a deep and tackling with this idea? So that question becomes very important.
So le mize di naliya, ma kiba the switch do, or this sometimes.
So if you look, the answer is, who makes you miserable in this life?
Nga ke chimbutsibe rawatang, nga ke chimbutsibe toba rawatang toba. Tikatse ma yebchigi kangede ma yebchires.
So it all boils down to this self-cherishing attitude. And
rawata toba di kingiwa.
No, how will some hope. Rewa.
Toba.
Rewa, the Toba se, right?
Toba.
Yeah, Toba se. So Toba is a very interesting word in Tibetan. Toba is some kind of doubt. The direct word is doubt. So hope and doubt, it comes to boil down to that.
They're saying like this, yeah. If you think carefully, who misery us, right, in our life? So that our expectation, our hope, expectation, doubt, these thoughts make us trouble, make us suffering in our lifetime.
Oh, ngana dinde samgi yes, nga kangbe na de yoris. Den da duzu kanga chajen pe ya bo yoris. Ani nge gomra dile daaz ngruware. Nge bet tamu chungjung kan nya de bchi mare. Ko thobja go jale yon chi chi re. Ko thoga de jasne nau de do che shu de chu chi degres. Nga kangbe na de nyenge bet dindi kan le de nyenge be miti ki sem ki kiblu ta. Tiki chiti ki sem ti kiblu ni kage kibayana so nga tene samnyo. Gare sana. Kol thogo toya ki kange de mebeche. Chaya ki kange de mebeche. And digsona ko ki thaju che degdo was. Ko redo nyonga yors. Nga said ke chimutsi redo di nyonga yors. Miss singendel samju tingyu ma chi redo chi thone 차게 부선 잡아 야르데 에는 마지부지 용거라스 디두게 민두스 디조디 잡로들이야 개침부 구조 장년기 베데 log chöndobti log ame chöndobti ranchin zinterdas nga sand kechimbuji zine and redog tone so susuma gives words.
So this hope and expectation by our jaded habit of self-cherishing, it brings a lot of problematic. But it also, especially for human being, if you look at where I live in my home, it's pretty comfortable, and I have a very comfortable mattress where the dog he sleeps very well because Rinpoche takes care that he have enough to eat, enough to drink, and since they are not human, their mind is different. They don't have a lot of hope and expectation. So their belly is full, they have a comfortable bed, they are very peacefully sleeping. But we as a human being, we have so many hopes and expectations, and it creates a lot of problems for ourselves. So that kind of hope and expectations are almost like the capital or light of entire all the sufferings. Like for a businessman, you need a capital, right? Capital money. So same thing. This is like it creates all this hope and expectations with our self-cherishing attitude. It lights up all the problems.
Oh, today in the Nambel object Chancellor Dr. Rinpoche Jungne me mission. Ramdun la tene ten yongwa chawa yongwa. Jidun la tene ten mawa chawa mawas. Ngara la ne tungune dembare samgiyos.
So this is one directly from the Buddhist point of looking at the mind training. There is always less activity for the
point of Buddhist view. Yeah, I'm saying I don't know you as that view suitable for you guys, but Buddhist point of view, on purpose, yeah, on benefit, on purpose. We say less activity and less to do, right? Purpose of other, yeah, do more activity and more think to other. We're saying that.
Ta jidun la tene ten mawa chawa mawa chebe kabliya kange chiba tegres. Donda du tuyagi toliya dongle chegoya mambo yongres. Kange mambo tegres. Teko ji tegre de cheba tela 소수 찍고 개변 돈달 강에 태버다 군인이 강에 태베 섭다 찍버려디 모카가르스 디부카가르스.
So it is very interesting, like whenever we go through hardship to benefit other or for community for that matter, when you go through a hardship, and sometimes we go through a hardship for self fulfillment or our own task or work. Even though the obscurations or difficulties are same, but there's a very different outlook when for other people's benefiting other people's. At that time you face difficulties, and difficulty facing for your own self work. The difficulty, they both are difficulty, but outcome and outlooks are different.
Kange ta obstacle sigraba. Tinde kange the nigal yongraba. Rete kon dibu khagar ngo khagares. Tapena dibu khagar ngo khagar sayad karares na. Chiti tumde khatse thamba inaya. 야구 중나 소스 찍고 그래. 야구 맞중나 소스 찍고 그랬어. 지속 돈달라야 강에 채샤부터 즉 동네 채샤부터 되기 준비해 지 충분히나. 당연히 대비 소장만 붙이리야. 펜토 용돼야. 리기 용돼야. 도스지를 돼야 알았어. 그 대답하디 달래 미도 내 미도 디나리야. 디 레가도 고츠네 주 켜트고 매베 있나야. 디 미도 제마디 독스체 주게제. 독스체는 돼야 알았어.
So these are, even though they're like similar obstacles, but when you face these obstacles, if even you fulfill after the obstacles, when it's only geared towards self, it's just the fulfillment is very less. It's just one. You just got happy. But when you overcome the obstacles of benefiting other or society, the fulfillment is vast.
Because
there is countless.
pen tande kenan sul ji tande lumba dig netang thone thule yarje gi rumbati mito chi keja marwas mito mambu gyube yaje chi ruwas
so
teletene ngema nge tinde thingi ye lo thugya dingya ngel ya gebu tuzu pechu tang mathu ya chik tang manyo ya chik tande mangcho rang thone en pechu tang ji en tusche en rodaya chik penaya ngema lo thugya dingya nge gebu tuzu ina chawa chi juna lungyap ji yap da ji ma do mebas tanda roji ina ngarang so mangcho kyume thone lamsa thopji ji dos je nenje lamsa air condition sene chata chi tata chi je dos chen ngeme lo thugya dingya nge gebe manyo chi manzu mangcho nyong thoya de sure mi namje tiang ji zo le ya shimdi shya chi gi tinde chi gi namje chi gi thone ane mitone yaje chimbe gi thule chi gi thone chumbar was.
So sometimes by working towards society, working towards larger benefit of other people, it might take time. Sometimes you might not be able to succeed in one life, but at least you tried and you put it up to somewhere onto some kind of distance. But then the next generation will work on it. For example, if you look at this, like today's world, or 600 years ago, the kings and queens, things that they want to enjoy and they don't have it. But we enjoy in a very common way. For example, in 600-700 years ago, when they feel hot, the person will come and fan them to chill them out, the kings and queens. But here now, because of our past generation, they worked towards the global good, for community's good, for whatever reason what they have, but somehow it benefited the entire population, that one big house can be switched on and off, and you can feel the fan like a comfort.
Ota tindegi chi jisola tene chi ta pembelle chavelle min namje tumomamji yedebati ta rubiati ngone tanegi ran la pen chila pen tunde sawa ngo sawa ane kange chi thebe inaya ti sem shumbe gyula mundoya ningdo phebe gyul doya ningdo phebe gyul doya rani jibu thone yedebati sem shumbe gyul doya tus cheje kunini bet ngo dan jibu bet khaga doas.
And so whenever we think about others, larger good for other numberless beings, then actually during the task of work, we have more courage because it's a larger good. And when we are focused just for ourselves, discouragement also comes very fast because it's just a very focus is very narrow. When our focus is big, our courage also bigger, our fruitions are bigger, and our focus is narrow, just self, then when we get depressed or discouraged, it's very easy because the number is very minute.
But in this way, that the church the mandevasana midu, kandar mitzitidang, deyu chigi tone, and some tigiti, tayati catchable. Ko inji minji chi Lojong Ginyamlen Jigta Lamsan Sanje, you combat of Gul Jig Lamsan Nanchi Jigitolia, Dregoya Meba, or Mitidigi, Jizogito, Nedan Jigitoli in there. Never things of your Jigitola, need issue years.
So, not to mention about big idea about enlightenment, but for having changed slightly about self-cherishing to cherishing other, just small shift can also bring tremendous benefit to oneself and other. So it is, from my point of view, it is just.
I was saying like that, yeah. We're thinking about this type of, to see the fault of self-cherishing, self-centering, or thinking quality of the other cherishing. Yeah? It's not necessary to think about the religion side, past or future, right? Even this lifetime, right? We survive. If you think this type of, right? Thinking fault of self-cherishing and benefit of other cherishing like that, yeah. How so much benefit to survive peaceful in our life in only for this life, not necessarily think past and future.
Oh, because tindejigi samnoti tangbe tumre teleya kepsan to suli yorasana kepsan so to sosoli yoras sosolo karisana semba kiba kepsan lubu deva kepsan ni kiba kepsan kala troyeva kepsan trogoma kepsan what do yoras.
So by actually who benefits by cherishing other is actually mostly benefits yourself, because when you have a less focus on yourself and more focus on other, and the health as well as peace of mind, all of this related to that. You will have a more peaceful mind, more healthier body, sleep better, because there's no adverse or jealousy or anything like that. So, and the food also digests better, because there is at ease at your mind, because just meager thinking about other or not harming other or benefiting other is a tremendous beneficial first to yourself.
제가 남배 추 계절에 제가 뭐에 내주래 강당 나란서 잠불링들이야 로자타 지 드버러 왔어. 강당 나란서 디 잠불링 도시래 되버티 드버치로 왔어. 다 드버치 잠불링 드버치기 로자타 지 뒤 지기 나로 데니기 드버치기 아니 데베링들이야 지소라야 답시 매봐 대기요 소소라야 대기 기 초에 초대지 두스체네 아니 미치티 타르치메이나 아니 랑기 로기 버세드르와스 다 티마임바체 소소 잠불린 딜리야 같세 추보이나레 같세 와요나레 강다르 로자타지 로주티나네 아니 가리나 그 둥드세제 타마 둥드 조제 샤샤르와스 와요네 샤야르 규네 샤야르 두스 샤야지르와스 다베 소자셴 답시 첨보다 소자셴 투즈 첨보다 딘데지기 왕 첨보다 규 첨보지 중바 있나야 텐다와티 뽑아dembe기 규 첨보다 왕 첨보 차서야 가보러왔어 그 잡로들 오 네 소자셴 도시부 담배인다 somebody 샘들 맞지지 여러봤어.
So in other hand, just look very simply that we are all transitory human being, and we might live highest or maximum 100 years. And after that, we have to pack it up and go. So at that time, again, if you really sum up and look back, if you have done more for others, less self-cherishing, I think you have an easier even journey, so to say. Otherwise, some people can accumulate great wealth and lots of powers, and sometimes great wealth collects from taking advantage from others. And great powers are also by pushing and stepping on others, so to say. And also sometimes taking big advantage from animals and making big wealth and things like that. So all of this are later, you are your best witness. You yourself know that how you accumulate this wealth, how you accumulate this power. So there, when you look back, again, in 100 years you have to go. So it doesn't matter how much wealth you have, how much name and fame you have, it's gone. You cannot take with you. It's just, so in that sense, we are just a very short guest in this world. We are all transitory people. We are in transition, so to say.
Tatine, tati, jidangi, tati lojongi, jizolaya, pendokariyume, chöda mandrewe, sangju, or tindechik tola, kesiti shigi, tanga, chöda drewe tone, lojong nyamne chidanjik shuins.
No. So until now, I tried my best to basically in journal, not necessarily parallel to Buddhism or spiritual path, even everyday life's path. What are the advantages, disadvantages of self-cherishing and cherishing others, according to the advice or according to the mind training until now. But now I will speak briefly about according to the Buddhist point of view, according to the spiritual point of view.
Ta semjen shenle ya dunghe seve ta dewa druba ta dunghe seve samjol ringthu meba nyam gwevegi ene gyuchen ya ene lojong thone tibachim lojong thone karsungu arsna kunzol tebe gyuchen du dandamla tebe gyuchen sum otuchini gyuchen gui gone samtang res sumbai.
So according to religious or dharma point of view, so there's how to look about this abandoning self-cherishing and advancing cherishing others, how to exchange and how to come to equanimity between this. So it breaks down to few parts. One,
this is because he's saying like that. According to the Buddhist point of view, related to Buddhism, right? So we need to see equality, right? All sentient beings, to benefit equality, and to solve suffering equally, the whole sentient being without any bias, right? Equality. But due to that reason, there's two types of the reason, The reason based on ultimate reasoning or the reasoning of the conventional reasoning. So according to base reason on the ultimately, there are three reasoning, why we need to see equality all sentient being, right? So according to the reason based on conventionally, there's 6 reasons, why we need to see all equality, to benefit equality and stop suffering equality for 6 different types of reasoning.
다 자와 강당 강이네야 디 인고야 가르사디 why 사디 다 시부지 여러와스 다 남병원의 대세 개벽깔이야 why 사디 시달샤네 and 대세 지각이 여러스.
So in West, it's a very curiosity and very energetically you guys always argue why. So which is a very parallel to Buddhist like reasoning. So we always say why. So for example, here breaks down to like 6 or total 9 reasons why, like according to the relative truth and the ultimate truth.
That tambo kunzo le trugu nala and shengo le duje sum rango le duje sum duje trug tusre shengo le duje sum rango le duje sum.
So according to Kundub Dempa said,
according to reason conventionally, there's 6 reasons. According to others, according to individual, on self, like 6 reasons, right?
Yeah.
That Shangol Tebe Gusen Tambotela Karishagresna Deva Gokune Tsumba Dunge Mendeva Gokune Tsumba the Randa Semjen Chivachikan Redwas Gusen Tambore.
The first reason, right? According to reasoning, according to other, right? All sentient beings are same wishes. Want happiness, doesn't want suffering. First, own self, doesn't want suffering, do not want suffering, do not want happiness. Similarly, whole sentient being, that same reason, want happiness and do not want suffering. This is the first reason.
Shandi Devagi Dindesunguduas Dagi Shengi Dungese Dungain Dagdushins. Nessemjen Shandagi Dungese Gure, Karis, the Dungervas. Mo Kora Dungervas, the Dungainza, Dungesing, Mevsogaj, Jalai Chigravas, Dagi Shengi Dungese, Dungainshi, Dagdushi, Penangaranga. Dungaji Chonsuna, the Mavasaya, Kalish with Yagoduas, Dungain Bachivarvas. The Ribat Muna Demarta.
Shanti Devas said that the suffering is same, and to get rid of suffering, interest to get rid of suffering is same, just like myself as well as other.
Shanti Devas say, and Buddhist Chara Avatara, right? So I must solve others' suffering. Why this is suffering? Because same as my suffering. I want to solve suffering, right? Because the only reason it is suffering, right? Same like this. I must accomplish others' happiness because this is happiness. So they said, I must solve others' suffering, because this is suffering. For example, my suffering, right? This is first. So I must benefit to other sentient beings because they are sentient beings, same as similarly my body or my individual benefit. So you see, if you think carefully, this is 100% truth. There's only different I can do or I cannot do. Yeah, that is only right, but 100% that is reasoning.
Tiribati Shilashane, Pena, ta Panguchu, Moma Shiva, Panguchu do, Siyonje, and Anzole Tobje, Teroches, Lavaina, and Panguchil Tobjete, Panguchil Tobje Marja, those Chavina, nge chitanti digbare mandigbare ta ngone chena pangbo imbani chikpare tobje longbani chikpare and kha yeba goshe gyabje chu goshe gyabje pate gwa chirwas ti chena lugda thumbar was kashe chil matena ti lugda thumbar remed was o tin na shi riba nibati shenla tebe riba nibati pangbo chuliya se deba na shinchigi and se jindanti chokri sumbaina tenda dembachi redu lugda thumbachi redu remedu pe tishindu semje thamje dewa deba chikwa imba chikla and gashila and pembadu gashila pemba maduati and nge chulu de thumba redu mandus o tus cheje tilbache ti tende dembare.
So having said earlier, so with that idea, with that knowledge, if you look, for example, if you meet a 10 person who are begging for food, and you have something to share for them, if you share whatever you have, you share equally among them, that is more seizable. That is a good conduct or universal good manner, so to say. But if you you give to someone and don't give it to someone, that is unethical, for example. But same thing here for like with regards to all sentient beings, how you can pick and choose. You should have some sort of ethics or manners to be some sort of seeing equal. All are similar interests, longing for happiness and not longing for suffering, just like yourself as well as other. So you cannot have a divisive thought. According to spiritual, you have some sort of equanimity. You have like others are just same as myself who are similar interests. So that is the second reason.
Ta neba nyamda chu dungengi nardeva ta dungengi ene nardeva o tindechigi dungen thande yedeba chigla ane meba inar chigi neba nyamda chu butela gashele menju ma che chebina ti lukthun reverse ta ngone chena dungengi nardeva chigbare memba tigi ti dungen tele trotbe neba chi yore ti indi konso chuga lolya niring meba cheje ti chebina ta lukta tumba chiruas.
For example,
pet in nashins dungengi nardeva ganga chigla and gashel ya dungen troya tapshe gashe yukshabati lukthun mares.
So as a doctor who visits a sick person, and there are many sick persons, and as a doctor,
the first one is like that, yeah. The first reason, like equally, there's 10 poverty people, right? Situation same, right? Poor, same poor
10 people.
Situation, right? Very poor, right? 10% equality same, right? From our side, we can do some benefit other to helping other, and neglected other is not reality, right? Because these 10 poverty people are equality, same condition, right? This is from that side. Now from another reason, the third reason, example like so this first ones, these 10 poverty people have a lack of happiness, right? They're 10 poor people, right? They needed things. 100% same situation, yeah, their lack of happiness, right? So from my side, I make a bias, right? I do some benefit, maybe 2 or 3, and neglect it like a rest. If you do that, from our side, this is not good attitude, right? Because these 10 poverty have same condition, same situation, have lack of poverty, right? So in this, if can do, I must do 10 equality, right? Similarly, whole sentient beings are same, have, lack of happiness, right? because they want happiness, but still lack of happiness. For due to reason, we can make bias, benefit some and neglect some is not good attitude. This is from happiness side. Now from suffering side, there's 10 sick person, right? Condition, same disease, right? So I have potential to cure that sickness. Then I just choose someone to benefit, make a treatment, and I like maybe 5 neglected. If I do that, what do you think? It is not, honestly, it's not, because these 10 poor people, same condition, right? Similarly, whole sentient beings are lack of, all sentient beings are still tortured into suffering, right? Due to that is the same condition, but from our side, we can do some people, to benefit, to try to solve their problem, and neglected other is not proper way, because the sentient being the same condition. If due to that reason, we must to do, to solve whole beings, because they have same condition. So like that. This is third reason.
다 생활을 때문에 규전숨 도스체. 다 랑을 때문에 규전숨 슈인다스. 소소랑을 때.
Now we will speak about 3 points getting to self.
다 랑을 때는 차샤바이나 등에 등이 쉬바이 간다 깨바네 마시 파르도 소초가 되게 참말로 류대와 되게 참말로 심전신 때대바 찍레스 유전 찍레스.
So first is looking at self. First, I have already told you from the beginning that from birth till death, all our physical needs are depend on others, from the gratitude of others, food, clothing, everything I told you.
다 만조 최바 지금만에 셰베이나 초사야 리바장사야 두주창마야 샘제 셴을 떼버지레스.
And as a practitioner, in order to accumulate merit, again we need other. And in order to purify our obscuration, we need other.
Pena sherab nyimbenala gate parasamgate bodhi soasag lamngachi duas. Tendeve lamnga tokoti semje shen ten keworamato semje shen matebe lamnga ke chan medutas.
So as a practitioner, we all know about Heart Sutra. In that Heart Sutra, we say Tayata Gade Gade Paragade Gade Gade. This like 5 paths.
Bodhi soas.
Bodhi soha.
Gate paragate parasamgade bodhi ngaduas.
No, so there's 5, right? As Rinpoche mentioned. So these are related with 5 paths. So in order to achieve to the 5 paths, again, we are depend on other sentient beings.
Tikaresana jimbe nyamle chudumgi nyamle sobe nyamle sen semje shen jimba tayam semje shen mena jimba khawa tangas.
For example, we have a saying, practice of generosity, practice of ethical discipline, practice of patience. All, for example, generosity, how can you learn giving if there's no other?
Chudum singed shen la neba songajla chudum sigiyore. Tindeji semje shen singeji meveina chudum sungdap koro menduas.
And ethical discipline is also depend on other. How can you behave correctly, not taking advantage, is again, you need others. Because,
So paying yamlen said that semjen shen gananiga, semjen shen tagabaga mayimba, so ne king yene, tell ya sobagongoramato, pentangela, sobagom said meduas.
And then when we say practicing tolerance or patience, we need other. And not only other, we need other who have a pretty tough character, who gives you a challenge and hard time. Someone who loves you, you cannot practice patience. But someone who is miserable or who always challenges you, that's the time he's giving you opportunity to practice. So again, it depends on other.
Shanti Deve Shivalak Dinde Sungu Ores. Chaka Sanjay Tuji Kadin Redas. Chaka Semjeng Kadin Redas. Naranso Ji Tanda Lamga singing Yard Compound Drogu Yavena, Tuzukanga 50-50 Redas. Semjen Namda Javan, Sange Chudu Drawalasan. Oh, Jajanga Chutamba, Sange Tuji Chilabre, Jajanga Chutamba, Semjeng Chilab, Karsa, Kadin Ten Chumbajere, Sangelea, Pu, Chome Pu, Cha, Shiuche, Semjen the Gangalo, Nanjunta, Kesuche, the Carres, the Karimbe Kures, Jeje, or Sunguare, the bed and Barada.
And again, great Shanti Deva said that our enlightenment or our all spiritual practice fulfillment is 50% depend on Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, 50% on other sentient beings. No, this is we are talking about according to Buddhism, so according to Buddhist practice. So when we go for Buddha's teaching and we are making offering, incense, candles, and practicing his advice, all of that. But since Shantideva said it is 50% from the Buddha's blessing, 50% from sentient beings. But we immediately do offering to Buddhas, but then we a lot of times neglect, especially people who are less than you, and sometimes we ignore them, and sometimes we don't even care. So that is very laughable according to the Shantideva.
당한저 키르보다 시민로부터 심제 닝제고 샤와드로 된데 통선한테 심제 닝제고지도 스네 소소의 파티 통년 너도 거르지 봐 용도 왔어. 따따 서로 식 서로 지글스나 내가 drugs 서로 라냐 서로 지글스나 어디 베트 담보거라네 지 만들어 지 용도 왔다. 때문에 참아지고 이미 미시 어딘지 지 용도 왔어. 딘데qab려야 아니 시발라고 숨버렸어. 미기 셈제 때나야 내다 남나 때내다 상계 니도 유로시 당신 참배 죽이다스 셈제데 현안서 시우지 베디 뭐네 소자야 냥가 여대지 임바 있나야 수수 셈기 sö제 아치다 두주 두지까지는 때네 내 상계지 공판도 터버 지기 열에 아 삼배 또네 아니 팔이야 현안서 남유데 매버제네 참제 남유된 거레스 근데 쓴거 드서 깨잡에 메시빙냐 보래.
So it is really like all animals, like pet animals, they are beautiful, so it is easy to love, easy to pet them, easy to associate them. But when it comes to snakes or scary tigers or what do you call it? Like basically like poisonous ones, you know, cobra like that.
King cobra.
We get immediately like resistance. We get scared. We get distant to the point of sometimes even virtue harming them. You know, these are very ingrained in us. But according to Buddhist advice, it says that actually we should see them as beneficial. That my very enlightenment depends on all sentient beings. Having said that, so these animals, you can see it or open your mind with love and care, and there will be, these are the very field, these are the very remedy of my enlightenment.
That's sentient.
This is the first reason.
다 유전이 바디 and 지단 텐데 임바이네야 카지기 네베 삼노지 두아스 네베케베 자와지 두아스 Sheyundu, Nebe Chawada, Pembe Chawani Chevaina, Pemba Cheve Chawade, Maware, Neba Cheve Chawade, Nuares, and the Gutenibare.
No. And the second reasoning is says, actually, luckily that there is more reason to benefit other. There's always, you can find many reasons why we should benefit other. And there's very less reasons we will find that why we should not benefit other.
Actually, they say like this. Then we're saying like this, oh, yeah, all sentient beings is equality suffering, right? So, but why I need to look all sentient beings equality? Because some sentient beings have intention to harming me, right? But that isn't why I need to take care for them, right? Yeah, we have this view, right? Then they say that sentient being who want to intention to harming me, that sentient being have very less chance to harming me. Most of the time, they benefit for me because only harming when they become my enemy, right? That enemy, right? Only they're harming me during become my enemy. The rest, yeah, past, future, most of it, yeah, they have benefit for me. Due to that reason, I should be, responsibility to solve my enemy welfare also for me. So like this. Never say do you
That is all. That you can somebody and Tagi Shuvanashi, do you tung chicken Zambul in the music gigi Yimbe Chane, Telia, Dangdream into us. Never dream into us. Nigalo, never chadra, and Penna look to Tambachi, Tanda Sherry, Tidu Yavina, Page Kamachonga Jella, Duce, the Meva Chadra Jim, Koran Namu, Yari Javina, that Chokar, Kamakashi, so Solon Mevalia, Nangu, Yare Jagid, and Chokars, Nazi Dusvatana, Tendeji, so to us, or pet the Chikwatas. Dry, Sosarani, Zambul in the Tuyutundu, Delia in Damdi Chirim into us.
So third reason is about the time or duration. And the duration is very short. That means our very life is very short, as we have mentioned before. Therefore, to harm other is in this very short duration is very laughable in some sense. For example, if there is an animal going towards the butcher and they're going to butcher it, but because they are animals, sometimes they fight, not knowing that they're going to die anytime. But they're still fighting. So because of that, it's very pitiful and laughable that we have very short period living. And in that, if we, instead of benefiting other, if we harm other, it is just like the animal going towards the butcher and still, fighting each other. It's a laughable.
Actually, that's our life very short, right? So while lifetime, better to live harmony. Yeah, it looks like better to benefit each other, live harmony, live a peace. For example, right? Say like 10 like a sheep, right? Going to slaughter, right? So very short time now going to slaughter. This short time, they 10 sheep or lambs or during that time, yeah, they're not living peaceful when they're fighting each other, right? So what we feel? Oh, we feel sympathy, right? Oh, this on the very short time going to how's their life, yeah? Why that time? Why they doing like that? Yeah, similar like our human being, yeah. Our limit is 100, right? Very short time going to slaughter, right? Going to show 100%. So during that period, short period, better to live harmony, better to live helping each other, better to make tie to, benefit other saying that. Yeah, this is the reason according to oneself. The third reason.
No.
다한테 돈달로 때 숨데 축축을 쉬쳐졌어.
Now the reason based on the ultimate reasoning. There are three types of reasoning.
티 시부지기 약보르다스. 상계 좀 된 내기 껴인데 가봤으고 알았으나 그기 녀몽들 껴쓰고 알아마도 밑에 소자들 껴인 짠쓰기요 말았어. 투베 녀몽 니쓰기 녀몽 단데 가사미스.
So this is very important reasoning. The Buddha, he never see the sentient something mistake, right? The Buddha only see the person, for example, mean person, right, who a very bad attitude person, right? The Buddha never see that person is wrong. Buddha always see his attitude is wrong, right? For that reason, Ayadeva said in 4 stanzas, the Buddha see the fault of the fault of his delusion or fault of his athletic mind. But Buddha didn't see the person who have that attitude. Buddha didn't see that the person is wrong.
티 뭐네 야고 쇼지도스. 배나 나란 척이 줄로 참을로 열에. 샤고 드버샤야도 왔어. 드버샤베 깔리야. 강당칸 산게를 이나래 건조 이슈를 이나래 가와줄래 내 드버체버도 논주 총소 톨샤 다이나 나 제마 지금 엔다스네 드버샤베 차 드베 차와 대당 뉴를 덴베 강사님부터 카가스 드베 차와도 매버서야지 되고도 왔어 소소강 된대지도 왔어 이나 미션다들가 콧 두자를 그 내가 지거스네 내가 대다 강사님이 집어지게 소샤버로 왔어 소소강 레스나 드베 차와도 소소라니 카가스 네 드베 차와도 노드 중선다 자마서 인스네 yar라고도 왔어 뭐네 덴바래
So in some sense, like whether we are Christian or whatever faith we have a always like tradition of forgiveness or to purify our wrongdoing, right? We purify and going to admit that I have done these things wrong and please forgive me or purifying. So at that time, actually, if you look, we already separate me and my action, separated. But somehow, when we think of an extreme adverse situation, when we think about other, we say, oh, he's bad. We don't separate he and his action.
Today, in the Sangegi, Dasing, down Dachi, and she conducts be Yuchi to Namtso see Amare, take you ten, and Dal Dangagi, Chavati, in Cherungomares, and Tondam de Yuzetambore.
So the first reason, this one, for that, Rinpoche saying like that, we usually, we make, if people done mistake, right? So we make one, their action and person making one. We never make separate, right? But from our own side, right, we always make separate action and person. I did mistake, right? Mistake and I make separate, right? Yeah. So in this case, for that reason, we do the confession. All religion have doing something confession, right? During confession time, I did this action, action, and the person makes separated, right? So like that. From other side, people who are doing wrong, we make person and action doing in one, right? So he did this wrong. We will not separate it. For that reason, Buddha never see sentient any wrong. Right? Buddha never, see sentient enemy. Right? Buddha only see sentient, the bad attitude, see the, enemy, not the person. Yeah. So this is second reason, right?
And Danyang ever met Nibaris.
Then second was the first one. The second one's the enemy and friend. There is no certainty, always changing, right?
아니 펜주 때베랑 신레 둘루경원에 디레스네 니야치 야마르스.
Then the most ultimate reason is everything's relativity, right? Depending. So there's nothing to find absolutely something like enemy or something like that. Yeah, everything depend on others, right?
디 캐난스 페이지 야가 킹그레 컨트롤 피시스기 차둘 참에 띵네 셰베이나 다 뜨네 샤고지마도 지금 유딩네 디레스네 녀토야지 멘도와스 베트나시 라다nye 사야데 뜨네 샤와마도 유딩네 녀 메버레스.
As you guys know about science, about quantum physics, it says every atom is basically collective coming together. But if you really go subtle, you don't find any individual, even like small as dust or atom like that. So same thing, enemy or friend, these are both are similar. It's all interdependence. But if you really look, you will have a hard time pinpointing the so-called enemy itself.
오토지체다 뒤졌음이 오다스. 수로나.
So now our time is up.
에네 산이 제초슈스.
So tomorrow I will see you guys.
강레라베 고르베 신감 들팬단데와 말루주 제레스원 틴진 자조이 샤베스인데 땡교제 잠베 파웨 치트라 켐바다 군도 삼보데 대다 군게 제소달로제 가와데다 탐제람도 두순셰베 가와 탐제기 모아 칸라 쇼도 다신 게웨 소와 디그 삼보지 Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Tuche.